So a couple of people were here last week. We mentioned this last week, and we're mentioning it again because lots of times migrants don't seem to understand the 3 levels of government, and a lot of the countries that people come from. We're going to send you the slides, Gabriel. Yeah, so you're going to. Yeah, a lot of time the countries that people come from don't have all of this governance that we have, all sorts of laws that you actually have to abide by. And so the federal government, taxation, everybody has to pay tax, not everybody, but people have to pay tax, their tax, the GST, the sales tax, award, how much you have to pay people, all of those types of things are covered by this minimal, are covered by the federal government. The state government as well has more licenses and other things that you actually have to get to be a member of the business community. And if you own your own land, you might have to pay land tax. There's all sorts of taxes that the state government actually do as well. And then local governments, they do things like they expect you to have a food license if you're a food vendor. They have environmental inspectors who come out and make sure that you've got things at the right temperature if you're doing food, etc. And there's other things that local governments say we need to know. So just to make sure that everybody knows that it's not just one level of government, there's many things. And last week we talked about a thing called ABLIS. If you want to write this down, because it's not on the slides, ABLIS. The point here is that whatever type of business you actually are starting or have, it's a really good idea to go to the ABLIS site. It's an Australian government thing. It's about business licensing, and basically what you do is you ask questions. It asks you questions and you put them in, and it tells you what you should have all the way through. Okay. All right. So, Jade, do you want to take over from now? Michaela also mentioned Business Tasmania, and on the old website we actually did a little bit more last week for people about Business Tasmania. It's a really great site. It has all sorts of things on it that you need to know. But this week, because we're talking more about strategy, we're talking about the Tasmanian Small Business Growth Strategy and the government's implementation plan regarding that. So the government's got some people together, and Rob was one of them, and also the TCI was one as well, and worked out what the businesses in Tasmania need. We're just going to go through some of that detail.
Yeah. Well, first of all, with the entrepreneur here, I have a quick question. Do you feel the need to get more strategic thinking, like resources available?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because when I first approached Business Tasmania saying we're running workshops like this, we want to go through that if possible. The feedback I got is that probably just focus on operation. But I have got feedback from various in my network saying when they come here and they want to invest in business, oftentimes they feel limited, what they can do. Lots of migrants will default to restaurants, supermarkets, etc., thinking it's easy, what they're familiar with, so not likely to fall very badly. But at the same time, they also want to know how to step up from there to go into the future of Tasmania's economy. Where is the special niche for Tasmania to grow? What kind of business direction is out there? So, okay, so I think this is needed. And then for lots of migrants coming in recent years, I've noticed higher education, lots of business experience back in home country. They actually want to apply their skills and knowledge to the local context. So this is why I was being stubborn and talking to Lesley and say, okay, let's still go through the strategy, even though it could look a bit big concept for some of us, but if it's needed, and then we can find our specific angle to look at those documents, that could help us to understand where to look for the future. And then I will invite Michaela and Rob to jump in anytime to help us to find out the right way to look at those, check those documents, dissect it as a business owner coming in. Okay, so this is just a screen capture from Business Tasmania's website.
But if you click into it, you can easily find these two PDF documents. One is the growth strategy document, the other one is the implementation plan. And in my opinion, this implementation plan gives us more practical advice. Now, if we click into it, you'll see this document provide a comprehensive table of various programs being delivered by different leading organizations, including State Growth, Chamber of Commerce, Small Business Council, etc. So it's worth a while to scroll through this table to find relevant programs to your business and then actively find the relevant resources and participate in it. Such as this business advice service we mentioned in last week's workshop. It can be tailored to your needs and provided by professional business advisors. As we mentioned before, another essential support for your business is industry associations. You can find that in the webpage of Business Tasmania as well. When you click in, you can actually find a whole page of associations specific to Tasmania. So this will be a very good gateway to start checking out the network that's applicable to your business.
You don't even have to become a member, but if you actually find things that you can connect with, they'll be giving you the sort of information that people were talking about before. Okay, so that's the types of industries. Now, can we go to the ICN?
Sure. Now, on the same page for industry associations, if you scroll down, you will see the Industry Capability Network. We think it's worth mentioning to everyone here because this network is particularly about connecting local businesses with buyers and proponents looking to deliver projects in Tasmania and interstate. So they are your connectors to various resources as well.
As a tea shop, he has to buy lots and lots of things, right? But a lot of those things you can buy locally. And it's really, really good, and it makes no sense, and I think you're going to talk about this, not to work with the business next door. If you're buying the same things and you've got to both pay transport, that's silly. In our families, we do that. We go, okay, everybody want to do this, let's all put in and buy one. We can do that with businesses. And especially because transport costs are so expensive to Tasmania. The more you can actually save on transport, the better. Okay? Yeah. There's two links on here. Southern Tasmania.
Recently, another migrant restaurant got into trouble with Fair Work. For, I guess, not legal enough pay. So business associations in migrant community need really assist and support the members to be so much aware of the potential consequences. And Lesley, you want to say something else?
If you actually only are about to employ the first person or only a couple of people, then sometimes it actually pays you to actually go to one of the consulting companies and actually get them to, organise it all for you, because otherwise you can do the wrong thing. The next one, if It's like hospitality. You have to pay people a different amount every couple of hours, depending on when they start and when they finish, and all sorts of things. And it's an awful lot of work to keep up with all of that. But there are particular hours of operation as well. So people's hours of work, you might find that in some particular awards you can only work so many hours per month or week or whatever, or you can only work from this hour to this hour, and it includes meal breaks and morning tea breaks, or it doesn't. Like, there's a whole lot of things that are in this, so it's the sort of area that I would suggest that you actually pay somebody some money to do as you're learning it, because if you don't know it, you can easily get into trouble.
And join the relevant workshop.
Yeah.
I actually noticed TCCI is hosting one recently, just about updates on fair work, legal requirements, etc.